Hey everybody, welcome to the first installment of Legends of 40K. This is a video series where I talk about one hero, or hero unit type, special character type, whatever you want to call it, and go over it in detail, I guess. So let's get right to it. First up, like I said it would be, is Belial, Master of the Deathwing. This is from the Dark Angel Space Marine Codex. He's 130 points. Weapon skill, ballistic skill of 5, strength and toughness of 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 2+ save. He is infantry. He's an individual, so you can only have one of him. Essentially, he's unique. He has Terminator armor, Stormbolter, and Sword of Silence. Sword of Silence is a mastercrafted power sword. And he has special rules of fearless, independent character, and rights of battle. Now, if Belial is in the army, Deathwing Terminator squads may be treated as a troop choice as well as an elite's choice. This is how you get a Deathwing army. You must field Belial for a Deathwing army. You can replace Stormbolter and Sword of Silence with a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield or Twin Lightning Claws for free. So he has some variability, which is unique amongst special characters, because for the most part they don't. And if he's in the army, one Deathwing Terminator squad may be upgraded as follows. One Terminator may be upgraded to a Standard Bearer carrying the Deathwing Company banner for 25 points. And one Terminator may be upgraded to an Apothecary equipped with an Narthian Reductor for 30 points. Now, that's only one Terminator squad. You can't put an Apothecary in one squad and a Standard Bearer in another. They have to be in the same squad, effectively making a wannabe command squad. But it's a troop choice, so you can still score, so that's kind of cool. So, you may have noticed there's a little bit of a difference with Belial than there are for other captains. He does not have weapon skill 6. Weapon skill 6 for Space Marine captains came about really with the new Space Marine Codex, the generic one, Codex Space Marines. Before that one, the previous edition, they were pretty much the stat line that Belial has, which is why Belial has that stat line, because the Dark Angels Codex came out before the Codex Space Marine. He has no Iron Halo. It's because in the War Gear, in the previous edition of Codex Space Marine, Iron Halos were not allowed on Terminator armor. So when they made the Dark Angels Codex, they followed with that as well. But Belial's a case of a special character that is required and necessary in order to field this particular army type. So, I mean, occasionally you hear pop up about the whole idea they should ban or make it illegal to in tournaments to play with special characters or something like that. And this is one instance where you have to either have really specific exceptions or you shouldn't do it at all. I don't believe you should ban special characters. Yes, some of them are like quote-unquote overly powerful or very strong, but you know, they're usually points heavy. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is, a Deathwing player cannot play Deathwing without Belial. Thus, if you eliminate special characters from a tournament setting, you eliminate all Deathwing armies from a tournament setting. And you eliminate other armies as well, but I'm talking about Belial here, so I'm focusing on the Deathwing. So, how would I field Belial? Because that's what this is about. Well, his options are nice. If you're going assault heavy, and you're going to have a Land Raider Crusader, I would highly suggest throwing him in with an assault squad in that Crusader. The question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to go at initiative, taking advantage of the frag assault launchers, or do you want to have the strength 8 hit at initiative 1? Belial is good either way with that in the assault. If you want him to be able to take on essentially anything in the assault, give him the Thunderhammer Storm Shield. If you're really going to use him to cut up rank and file infantry, give him the Twin Lightning Claws. He'll get that many more attacks, and that's nice. The way I fielded him is shooting, as you can see here with the Stormbolter Power Sword. I made a Twin Lightning Claw model just because I thought it looked cool, but I'm going to use him Stormbolter Power Sword, or sort of his Mastercrafted Power Sword. So that's how I'm going to use him, and the whole reason I'm using him that way is his ballistic skill lends to him essentially hitting all the time with his Stormbolter, or a high percentage of the time. So it lends extra shots in a squad of 5. So that him attached to it, it's 6 man, and he's probably going to be attached to a squad of either with an assault cannon type of thing or the cyclone missile launcher, so that he lends extra weight of firepower to help chew up infantry. He lends his multiple wounds and multiple attacks, making that him a deterrent to just flat out assault that squad. Some people will assault definitely, and Terminators in general, the shooting ones, because, yeah, they got power fists, but if they got the ability to bypass that a bit, go before that with a higher strength or something, they'll take a chance, depending on if they're assaulting, if they're an assault squad type of thing. With an extra model there that can lend a decent amount of attacks and extra wounds, it's a little bit of a deterrent. You're probably going to see some people be a little bit more hesitant to just try right at it, because not only do they have 3 more wounds to deal with and 3 more attacks to deal with, they have to split their attacks. Are they going to focus on Belial, or are they going to focus on the squad? Now, I'm not going to go into what I think you should do when you assault something like that, but it is helpful. So that's how I'm going to use Belial, because I only have Land Raiders. I don't have a Land Raider Crusader, because I'm playing pre-heresy style, as you can see, and Crusaders did not have them back then in the Great Crusade. So he can't fit in a regular Land Raider because he can only hold 5 Terminators, and a Deathwing squad is 5. As far as giving the ability to have a command squad of Terminators, really cool. Really makes them stand out, makes them look cool. You can have it. You can equip them however you want. It doesn't say that it had to have a Stormbolter Power Fist or a Twin Lightning Claws. So you can have a Standard Bearer that's Twin Lightning Claws, a Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, or something, or you can have it Stormbolter Power Fist. You just upgrade one of the members of the squad. Same thing with the Apothecary. Now, I would say if you're going to have an assault heavy squad in your Deathwing army, you should consider at least having that squad have the company banner. If not the Apothecary also, then just the company banner. The big thing it does for Deathwing, because they don't have to worry about failed morale or pinning checks, is give them +1 to their attack characteristics. So, for example, Twin Lightning Claw guys now have 3 attack space, and you add 1 for the Lightning Claws, so they have 4 attacks before the charge per guy. That's a big deal for a troop, essentially. Another thing you could do conversely is have the banner in a Stormbolter Power Fist type of squad. Reasoning being, they have 3 attacks base now. If they charge into something, that's 4 Power Fist attacks per guy. That's pretty impressive. And of course, it's up to you how you do it. If you want to go after infantry with lots of attacks, or go after vehicles or walkers or something like that, it depends on what you're gonna do. I think Belial is a great asset, obviously, because you need him for Deathwing. He is often compared to now Logan Grimnar, because Logan Grimnar lets you take Wolfguard as troops, and Wolfguard can be upgraded to Terminator armor, essentially making a Terminator army through Space Wolves. You don't see that happening that often. When you look at serious army lists from Dark Angels Codex, you'll see serious Deathwing lists and among them. You don't really see that too much with the Space Wolf, Wolfguard, and Terminator armor, because the HQ required for that is very points heavy. The army is kind of small, and really, while it's cool they can do that, they're not really set up for it, kind of like how Deathwing squads are. So, really, in my opinion, the better way to go is with the Dark Angels Codex for a pure Terminator army. I'm not saying the Wolfguard are terrible at it. I'm just saying the bang for your buck you get for having 130 point Belial is a lot better than the 270 or so points for Logan Grimnar. So you really can't compare them on that level, because Belial is a company master and Logan Grimnar is a chapter master. There's a bit of a difference there in terms of what they're going to get rules-wise and special war gear-wise and things like that. So anyway, moving on from that, what I would like to see as far as improvements for Belial, if they ever update the Codex in the future, give him an Iron Halo. You can do that now in the Codex Space Marines with a generic captain. So I think he should just be he should be updated in that respect to be able to have an Iron Halo. I think if he had an Iron Halo right now, people would stop essentially bitching about him. Yes, I do agree that he needs one, and the fact he doesn't have one is a downside. But he still has a 5+ invul. It's not like he has no invul. It's just he doesn't have the 4+ that basic power armor guy company masters have. So that would make him, I think, instantly more attractive if he had that standard. Other than that, the whole reason you feel Belial is a different ball game with the Dark Angels Codex really than it is for the newer codices that came out. In the newer codices, you feel the special character because he's a badass. He's going to go in there, well, depending on the codex, for Space Marines, because he's a badass. He's going to go in there, he's going to tear up some faces, he's going to get the job done. In the older codices, like Black Templars, their codex, and the Dark Angels Codex, not so much. Not because they're not badass. Belial can still hold his own in assault, no problem. It's more utilitarian than that. You feel them because of the rules, like in this case, you feel Belial because of the fact he lets you make a full Deathwing army or a heavily Deathwing army. So, when you're looking through the Dark Angels Codex, if you want to play Dark Angels, more often than not, you're going to see Belial being taken so Deathwing can score. And in that case, you're going to see a decent amount of Deathwing in the army if it's not a pure Deathwing army itself. It's going to be rarer to see somebody take Belial just because they want a Terminator armor equipped captain. That doesn't happen really as often as the fact that you take him because of the fact that he makes Deathwing troops. So that's pretty much how I would feel Belial. I feel them more in the shooty aspect because the nature of the army I'm playing does not allow me to have a Crusader. If it did, he'd probably be with Twin Lightning Claws. But that being said, it really also depends on your playstyle. I feel that the Deathwing lends itself more to really utilizing their shooting abilities. So in that case, you might not want to be too aggressive in the assault because you may go too fast, too early, and overextend yourself that way. But yeah, definitely if you're interested in the Dark Angels Codex and you're a fan of Terminators, like me personally, I love Belial because I love Terminators. I think Terminators are really cool, and the ability to field a full Terminator army is a good army type. It's harder to play than other armies. You're smaller, you have some limitations that other armies don't have. You can't sweeping advance, for example. But I think he's definitely worth a look at. And I feel that players who say Deathwing is not a viable army list really aren't giving it the chance it deserves. And not just Deathwing, but pure Terminator armies, people who say that they're not very viable, I would disagree respectfully. But anyway, that's Belial. That's Legends of 40K, the first installment of this video series. Not sure what I'm going to do next. I may jump to a different codex, just not to like drown you in Space Marines back to back to back. I may try to spice it up a bit by switching it up. But if you have any questions about Belial, you can PM me, you can put it in the comment section. There's so much more I could say, and I'm going to be doing a lot of Deathwing videos anyway because I am making this Deathwing army. So there will be more of that in the future. This was just to kind of wet your whistle, so to speak, on Belial. Tell you what his points are, his stat line is. That's what this Legends of 40K is about. Wetting your whistle about the special character, piquing your interest, if you will, if you were wondering about them. All in all, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, take it easy.